Hello. For one of the problems in the homework, this one here, this is a good example where depending on what type of format you use, whether you use Excel, the formulas, or the calculator, even going 2 decimal places, it could be different. And so I will always check for that in all the problems if you're within if you're close enough and I can tell that you just use a different format, I will give you credit for it. But on this one, if we use the calculator, it says a poll of 1,441 people, 75% use Facebook. And we want a 90% confidence interval. Well, this is a proportion. So proportions ask for the total people in the sample, but they also want, instead of the percentage, they want how many people use Facebook. So we need to find that first. So we need to take the sample and multiply by our percent, which was 75. Now when you're entering it, you cannot use the decimal, whereas the formula you could use the decimal. And so that's also why it will be a little bit different. We'd have to round this to 1081 because it doesn't make sense to have 3/4 of a person. To do it using the calculator, we go into Stat, over to Test here. And then we want, notice how these have numbers, we actually want A. So you have to keep going down, or you can use alpha and see the little green A. You can do A. So 1081 is how many people use Facebook out of 1444. And we wanted a 90% confidence interval. So now notice these are in decimals. They had asked for the percent, so you have to multiply them by 100. Some of the problems ask for the decimal. Well, the answer they have is 73.12, because it says to go 2 decimal places. We have 73.14. So it is off a little bit because of whether they used Excel or the formula. This one's 76.89, and they have 76.88. So it will be off a little. Now to find your margin of error, you subtract them. So we would go 76 point, I forget what the values were, 98, I think. Doing it on my calculator real quick, so I have them. 76.893 minus 73.142. You get 3.751. Now what you have to remember is this tells you the distance. It tells you how wide it is. The margin of error is if you had the middle part, it tells you how much it went each way. And that's why we take that value and we divide by 2. And so it goes back and forth 1.88. They had 1.88. So some of these going 2 decimal places may still be off. If we use the formula, like this one here was off a lot, and I'm not sure why. But when I use the formula, it comes out exact. But if we use the calculator, this one was 99%. So we go Stats, over to Test. We need A, so alpha A. and we want 99. We get 72.08, and they have 72.06. I mean, it's not too far off. That's the 100th position, but it is off enough. But I would still give you credit. I think that the calculator is a lot easier than Excel. Now, the formulas aren't too bad, though. Now, what you need to know is for your confidence levels, it's nice to have this written down next to you, because when you're using the z-values for the confidence intervals, 90% is 1.64, 95 is 1.96, 98 is 2.33, and the last 99 is 2.58. You can use these. Now, the calculator will be a little different than these because it's going to use a longer decimal. It's not rounding. But if we use the 2.58 and we use the formula, let's clear the screen. So we use 2.58 and we multiply that times the square root. And then it's P times Q. P was 0.75. Q is 1 minus that, or a quarter. So 0.25. And then we divide by the sample size, which was 1441. And then you don't need parentheses. Hit enter. So this gives you your margin of error, again, multiplied by 100. So it's 2.9428. Then you would take this 2.9298705. 914. Okay. And we add it to our 75, because they're both written as a percent. And that's how they get the 77.94298. To do the opposite, you subtract it. 75 minus 2.942988705. We get 72. So that's how they got that interval. You could find the margin of error first and then add it and subtract it to your proportions. But any way that you do it, decimals can be off, and therefore I will accept either way. It's up to you.